Good evening,
Ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew, and I will be your commentator today for the Tier 3 in IRL. We're here in qualifying for round 2 of the IRL Tier 3 Championship. So, should be an interesting one. We have a full grid today, 20 people in here. And should be a fun one. I'm going to apologize in advance. The new banner that we have is a little bit too big, and it's actually covering up the track map in the bottom right hand side. But sure, it'll all be okay. Should all be fine. But here we are as we watch Serenity on his outlap. But let's go to someone who is actually starting a lap here, as it seems like MJW is about to begin his lap here around the Silverstone circuit here. Of course, probably the oldest F1 track on the calendar. Is he's gonna nearly get impeded by a Williams there, and actually get hit by a Williams into turn 1. That was JJ actually hitting MJW into turn 3, it seemed. Not really sure what happened there, but MJW certainly not going to be too happy about that. He's going to have 2 cars behind him. I believe that is the Alpine of Toasty behind, if I can jump to him really quickly. And 2 Williams ahead as well. Toasty setting a purple Sector 1. Great time by him here as he's going to make his way through the first sector of the track. And they have a little car in front of him there. I believe that was MJB. So he's going to make his way now up into Cops. So far so good for Toasty here around the Silverstone circuit. A lot of grip for his car, and he seems that he's kind of flying here. Of course, purple sector 1, not sure how accurate that is, but certainly driving very, very well. The Alpine driver who finished 4th last race. DRS now open, heading into the one of the last corners on this circuit. I don't know the names of these corners, which is horrible for me. Toasty having to lift a little bit, backing out of the corner slightly, but going to late brake into the final chicane, and he's going to head now across the line. What will it be for Toasty? A 27.9. I'm sure without that mistake he probably could have been up there challenging Young, but a great lap either way. MJW setting a 152 for the Ferrari, of course, getting hit in that first sector. Unfortunate for him. Who else now? U60 setting a 128.7. U60 actually his home race here in Great Britain. But now we're going to ride on board with JJ as he makes his way into Sector 1. Going to run a little bit deep. And now heading his way onto the first DRS straight. I do not know the name of this one, but Mercury and Dex getting into a collision, it seems. I'm not sure what happened here, but Mercury now pulled off on the side of the road, I think. Stopped on the circuit. I'm not fully sure what happened there, really. The drivers now slow on track and pulled up next to each other now. Blue Mercury's going to cut the circuit. I don't really know what happened there, but we're going to hop back on board with JJ now as he makes his way through Cops. Not carrying enough speed through that corner, but we'll see what he can do now as he makes his way into Maggots and Beckett's here. Small lift for JJ. Of course, I believe he is new to the game, but eventually he will learn, he will improve, and he's been trying his best so far as he's going to make his way through the 3rd sector now, and actually has the Alpine of, I think that's Golden Sniper, actually, who's about to finish his lap. Actually, he's going to come in the final braking zone now. As his yellow flag behind, it seems to kick Sauber that is causing that yellow flag. Probably lack of fuel, and Golden Sniper going to come across the line. 128.2 going to put him into P4. Amazing lap for the Australian driver. Of course, returning to Alpine after driving for McLaren for a little while. Hopping back on board with MJ, who is set a pretty good lap with a 129.3. DJ also doing pretty well with a 131. That will definitely be improved upon, as there is now the Sauber of U60, who is crawling around the circuit on the medium tire. Really not sure what happened with him, but making a small mistake in the last corner, and now going to retry another lap around the Silverstone International Circuit. So we can actually ride on board with Dr. B, who has just had a lap, sadly. But 7. I haven't seen 7 yet. I believe he is new to the league. Behind is Hix, also on an outlap, but 7 now going to ride the curb a little bit there. Got a bad start to his lap, unfortunately, but here he goes to begin his lap. Hix close behind, or relatively close behind, but now making his way into Sector 1. He's going to start his lap, making his way into Turn 3. It's been a pretty good run to the first sector so far. Going to have a spin, though, and will he keep it out of the wall? He will. Just barely keeping it out of the wall. Little tap, but either way, kept it out of the wall. Still clean, and he lives to tell the story as Hix now we will ride on board with, making his way out of Sector 1. No purple sectors coming out of going into turn, I believe it's turn 5. I apologize for my semi-unenthusiastic commentary here. I'm a little bit tired. As Hix going to now head onto the run up to Kopp's corner. He's flying through this lap so far, flat out, no brake, no lift, just straight speed through Kopp's corner. Now into Maggots and Beckett's again. Barely any lift through here. It should be fully flat out, only a couple downshifts. Except for into this corner, a little brake, little lift. And now he's going to head onto the second DRS, the second and final DRS zone, and he's actually going to set a purple sector too. So Hix on a flyer of a lap. He has been very quick so far here today, and he's now going to make this run down into the final chicane, and going to run a little bit deep. But what can he do when he comes across the line here to cut the beam? And it's going to be a little bit slow with a 128.4, but not a horrible lap from him. So it's going to put him up at the P8, which is a great time. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. Hopping down to Mark now. He's going to head into the pits as he invalidates his outlap. We also have a certain Golden Sniper, who's actually beginning his lap now. After his unfortunate invalidation, actually, it's going to be quite a slow one for Golden. I don't think he's going to be doing much with this lap. We will now head on board with U60, who's on a flyer but not improving, actually invalidates his lap. Serenity, actually on a flyer as well. He's 4/10 up, just invalidates his time, though, unfortunately. He's going to get it crossed up through Maggots and Beckett's. 16, we have 7 here. He's 8 seconds up on his time after his spin in the first sector. So he's definitely going to be able to find an improvement, hopefully get up into that top 10 here around Silverstone. Again, haven't seen this guy before. He's a new driver in the league. He is going to be catching on Hix, who is in front of him, but taking Maggots and Beckett's very well. He seems to be going pretty quickly so far. I think on a used set of tires. I don't think he pit after his spin. Actually setting a purple sector too. So very, very fast for the Haas driver here, making his way into one of the final corners on the circuit now, making the run up into the chicane. And let's see what he can put on the board. As Hix dives into the pits, I believe. He's out of fuel. And 7's going to come across the line with a 128.7, jumping up to P9. Amazing job from him. Now, Toasty on an outlap. And we have MJW on an outlap as well. Of course, the admin and owner of Tier 3. And in case you recognize some of these drivers, a lot of them have moved over to IRL from Winston Racing Series, where I actually also used to commentate alongside Golden. And now we merged together and we're all one big happy family now. So gave them a home, and now we can all race together, and gives us another tier to have more racing and more action, except on a Tuesday. So MJW now about to begin his lap. Here we go, as he starts his lap now into Sector 1. Of course, 129.3 on used tires. He can definitely improve with the fresher rubber here today, or this time around. So he makes his way through Sector 1, and I'm not sure. Let's see, after he finishes Sector 1, let's see if he goes purple or if he goes fastest. Behind him, actually, Risers, I believe, on an outlap, or yellow flag. It's actually Riser's stop to not impede people. Gonna hop back on board with MJW now as he makes his way through the first sector. 2/10 down on his previous time. No purple sector though, but he's gonna need another 2 seconds in this lap to reach pole position. 2/10 up on his time. I'm sure he'll be able to find something through Maggots and Beckett's on these fresh tires. Of course, I believe he is actually learning no line on this game. He's starting with no line. There's another yellow flag, as I believe it's U60 who is off, but MJW now through Maggots and Beckett's, actually forgetting that MJW is, of course, Welsh, so this is a pseudo home race for him. 4/10 up on his time, looking at a solid P7 or possibly even P6 if he can nail this final sector and really improve on his time, but he is going to invalidate sadly, and he is going to slow down and probably head back to the pits now, unfortunately for him. But now Risers begins his lap here around Silverstone. He's going to fly through the first sector. Let's see what he can do here in this vacuum cleaner of a Kick Sauber. No offense to the Kick Sauber team, the car just doesn't sound very good. As he makes his way into turn 3, or turn 4, I'm not really sure what corner that is, or what corner number that is. I also don't know if people are talking to me in Twitch chat because I don't have it up. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me open up the Twitch stream. I believe 7 is Riles, yes. Sorry, Souls, I didn't see this until now. But now we see Risers now heading down into Cop's corner as there's a yellow flag behind. I just believe that is the McLaren getting out of the way of MJW, but Risers really flying through this middle sector. Let's see what he can set as he cuts the beam in the middle sector. Trying not to cut any of the apexes in Maggots. I'm going to go a little bit deep through the final part of that corner sequence. And, oh, is this Lewis watching? Hello, Lewis. Welcome to the Twitch stream. And now he's going to head into the final corner, or it's one of the final corners of the lap, and into the final chicane now. What will Risers be able to set here? Still another yellow flag. Going to go really deep into the corner. Really struggling for grip out there, Risers, it seems. I don't know if that's the Kick Sauber or if it's the setup that he has on possibly, but only good enough for P17. Unfortunate for him. Mark actually now did not realize up into P2. Young better come across and improve on his time, and going to be just shy of pole position from behind Alex. Now, how no one has gotten into the 26s bewilders me. But yeah, so we're gonna see what Hicks is heading into the pits. MJW is in the pits. We have Dr. B, who is actually out heading into the pits as well. Is anyone on the lap? Dr. B, not Dr. B, Serenity, who is finishing off his lap here, I believe. I think he's actually starting his lap. So here he goes to start his lap. As he's going to make his way through Sector 1, but there is a Frenny out on track, and Frenny does a good job of getting out of the way. Serenity now into the first sector, taking a very wide line through there, but able to carry a lot of speed. Great, amazing line by him, very satisfying. So he now opens up the DRS and heads down the main straight, and finishing Sector 2, 3/10 up on his previous time. At the moment, that puts him into P14, possibly P13. He could be on for a top 10 start here in qualifying. And as he makes his way now into the run up to Cop's corner, flat out through here. It's just insane to watch these cars, even in a video game, go through there. In real life, it's even crazier. And Serenity now making his way through Maggots and Beckett's. Awesome job by him, keeping the car planted. And he is certainly flying on this lap. He's 6/10 up on his personal best time at the moment. That does put him into P12. So just ahead of MJW. He is going to have Golden Sniper, though, ahead. Or not Golden Sniper, sorry. I believe that was JJ ahead for company. So JJ is not going to be able to set another lap, unfortunately. But Serenity now coming across the line with a 1:29.1, jumping just ahead of MJW, who's on an outlap. Toasty as well on an outlap as well. I said as well twice, sorry. But yeah, it's looking good so far. Of course, I'm going to save my breath for this final part now. Actually, I believe I see Flyer DJ out on not on a flying lap. So he's going to let MJW through, who's also not on a flying lap. But we are now going to hop on board with the Toasty Oven Bread, who's going to stop on circuit for some reason and let some cars through. And now, hopefully he will be able to have enough time to begin his lap. I'm not really sure. But anyway, people who actually are starting laps, U60's in the pits. Risers now finishing off his lap. Let's see what he can set as he cuts the beam with a 129, hopping up to 16th place. Great job from him. Blue Mercury also on a lap, I believe, and Hex now as well. So we're probably going to hop on board with Toasty here, more than likely, as of course I'm an Alpine driver. Let's see what he can do now through the first sector. He needs to improve 9/10 in total to be up there in the fight for the win here. Golden Sniper down in P9. El Queso, I believe, also might be the driver ahead, actually. No, sorry, the driver behind, who is also on a lap. But now hopping back on board with Toasty, he's a 10th down on his previous time at the moment that it'll keep him in P5. He is close enough, though, to get a distance tow from Dr. B ahead of him. So that is going to aid Toasty in his chances of success here in Tier 3. Toasty going to run a little bit wide, but no track limit there, so risking it all through Cop's Corner, now through Maggots and Beckett's. What will Toasty, and now invalidating his lap. Now we are going to hop on board with Dr. B, who is just ahead of Toasty, and as Toasty, I believe, probably going to finish his lap. He's going to be very upset that he invalidated there, but now Dr. B coming along to finish his lap. What is he going to be able to do as he heads into the final chicane now? Late on the brakes, through the first chicane, through the second part of the chicane, and now running up to the line. He needs to improve slightly. He does, up to P8. Amazing lap from him. Mark also out on a lap as one of the Aston Martins dives into the pits. Will Mark be able to improve here? So he's going to finish off his lap. What can Mark do here in Tier 3 IRL? Can he take pole position? No. He only improves by 5,000ths. Unfortunate for him. There is another, I believe, 7 is about to finish his lap. He's not improving at all. He's spinning all over the place. Unfortunate for him. And I believe that'll end our qualifying, I think. The only person that's left is El Queso, who enters the pits instead of crossing the line and gives us all a little while to wait. I'm going to return in a moment. I have to fill up my water bottle before I start yapping everyone's ear off. So I will be back. Apologies, guys.
Yeah. Yep, E20. That's embarrassing. They were talking about me, bro. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, oh, and JJ's out.
Anyway, does that little like dance? He psychs you out almost. Alright, everyone. I have returned. So some sad news here. It seems a few 5-place grid penalties being handed out for Dex and some others. Is someone in the Discord call with me right now? No, sorry. I'm simply hearing things. That's my fault, guys. So here we are in a overcast Silverstone, very different from the Tier 2 and Tier 1 races, which were both sadly wet races. But now while we wait, this gives me a little bit of time to go through the qualifying order for this race. Alex's Beast starting on pole, Young in P2 for the V-Carb team. U60, despite the Italian flag, this is his home race as he is British in P3. Mark in P4. Golden Sniper actually jumping up to P5. I didn't realize that, but Golden doing very well to qualify ahead of his teammate Toasty, who's in P6. Freddy now P7. Dr. B up in P8 after having an amazing second qualifying lap. Boatington, I don't know what I'm going to call you, Boatington, up in P9. El Queso in P10. Hiex in P11 for the V-Carb team. Unfortunate result for him, as I know he's usually close to the top of the field. 7 in P12. MJW in P13 for the Ferrari outfit. Dex P14 for the Red Bull. Unfortunate, unlike his teammate, who is he's starting 10 places behind him. I believe he actually also had a 5-place grid penalty. Serenity P15 for the Mercedes team, and Slayus, his teammate, actually right behind him, the Canadian driver. Risers in P17 for the Kicksauber team. Another unfortunate result for Kicksauber. Flyer DJ, another poor day for Ferrari, down in P18. Blue Mercury doing the opposite of his teammate and qualifying near the back of his grid. Of course, Silverstone, very tricky track, and actually seems like the formation lap bit of start. So JJ rounds up the back of the grid. And here we go as we begin our formation lap, as a few people are slow to get off the line in the back there. Actually, I believe that's DJ getting a disqualification for possibly hitting someone under formation lap. Unfortunate for him, he's not going to get to warm up his tires at all. I don't actually know what tire he is on. We can actually... A lot of people getting disqualified, as Dex and Risers are also disqualified for contact under the formation lap, as there's now 3 people stuck at the start-stop line, or stuck on the grid, waiting for everyone to make their way around. As we're gonna... as a few people almost making contact there. El Queso and Hiex, they're driving quite fast under formation lap, for my liking at least. JJ, of course, in the back. Alex really getting a jump on everyone behind him. I believe the grid, most of the grid is on medium tires. Slayus and Serenity actually opting for the soft tire. Very interesting choice from them. Mark the only one on hards, though. So that'll be a really bold strategy call from him. He's going to be hoping for no early safety car, but of course, if it's anything like last race, you're going to have a lot. And I believe in this game they actually had changed the way safety cars work, and you can actually have more now. So, I'm looking at chat now. Golden, congrats on the P5. I didn't actually see that, so until now. So congrats on that, buddy. It's Alex is now making his way to the grid. I just spilt water all over myself. Good job, Andrew. As now, Alex is going to come through and line up on the grid. It's, all 20 drivers are making their way through the final part of the track. And it should be a very interesting one here. As I am... Alright, here we go. So the grid is formed. We can see Alex pointed very sideways on the start of the grid, but 5 red lights. And away we go here in Silverstone. We're going to make our run up to turn 1, as it seems that a little bit of contact in the back, as DJ7 and JJ and Slayus, or sorry, DJ and 7 got caught up in something in the back, as everyone's going to make their way through turn 1 cleanly, except for, I believe, Boatington was a little bit wide. A lot of action here. It's 3 wide through the third corner of the racetrack. Frenny having a really good start to the race. Queso up to P8, Dr. B up to P7. The 2 Alpines holding their position well, as Alex is going to lead this one away in P1. U60 taking P2 from Young, who I assume probably had a bad start. Yellow flag behind, as DJ has spun again in the background, but we're going to hop back on board with Alex here in the front of the pack, as he's pulling the gap ever further away from U60, as actually Young going to run a little bit wide, I believe, due to that dirty air from U60, and now rejoins the racetrack in a safe manner, of course, but these 2 are probably the closest on track at the moment. U60 running really wide, gonna have to use the runoff now, and probably gonna lose a few positions for that, possibly, as Mark now very close to his tail. Mark actually gonna have the overspeed on U60 as Toasty falling ever further back from the Red Bulls. Toasty gonna run a little bit wide now. Golden very close to his back. Gonna late break. I wonder if these two are gonna fight at all. A little bit of contact between the two, but I don't think it's too much. As now we are gonna jump back to the mid pack and see Queso and Dex very, very close here. The Red Bull and the Aston Martin team will soon be using the same engines come next year, in real life at least. And Dex actually having an amazing start, as we're going to see who gained and who lost. Dex making up the most positions off the start, 5 positions off the restart, or off the start of the race. And actually Mercury and JJ both making up 3, Risers making up 4. And our big loser is Seven, who ironically lost 7 positions off the start of the race. So unfortunate for him. I'm sure that's not how he wants his debut to go. So he's going to have to pit for some repairs on that Haas car. But we now continue to watch Queso, as he has the Haas of Boddington very close behind. Boddington now actually going to have the run, and actually going to look for a move here, trying to go side by side through Maggotts and Beckett's, but not going to be able to get anything done with that. But Queso running a little bit deep now, as I'm sure the dirty air probably messed up a little bit there. But now Boddington going to have the DRS and possibly the overspeed, maybe even the lower wings. No DRS for Queso, as he dropped, as Dex actually dropped him behind. U60 and U60 Toasty, or actually Toasty getting past U60. I didn't actually catch that. 3 wide into the chicane, as I believe that's Golden Sniper gets past. I don't know what happened there, but there's a spin for, I believe that is Dr. B. Unfortunately for him, U60 left the session. I don't know what happened there, but it says he's P20 even though he's still near the front. I believe that might be a glitch of some sort. Dr. B going to get a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. I don't really know what happened there. But now we're going to turn our attention to the front of the pack. Actually, no, we're not. Yes, we are, actually, because Young and Alex are very close together here on circuit, as they're going to make the run up into Cops. Of course, no DRS here. In the reverse layout there is, but in the forward layout there is not. Young going to run a little bit wide. You have to lift a little bit to avoid a track limit penalty there for him. Actually, Queso, Aston Martin 0 to 0 for them, going from the front of the field now to the back. I'm not really sure what happened to Queso, but very unfortunate for him. And let's see, will there be a change of position here in the front? No. Seems like Alex might be able to hold on here, as Young still very close behind. Of course, Mark losing DRS. He's going to be out of this fight for a little while until the pit stops roll around. But yeah, Young seems to be struggling here to catch Alex to these final few corners. The dirty air, of course, probably not helping. But Young now has a small run on Alex up to turn 1. I'm now going to hop back because I see a lot of cars gathered back here, as it's actually Blue Mercury all the way back. Has a little train is formed here all the way down to, I believe, Slayus here, as let's see if these guys are going to duke it out in any way. Making their way through Sector 1, not very close together, but Mercury now gaining on U60. I'm actually going to try and send U60 an invite, because he did leave the race. So I'm going to try and send him an invite so he can get back in here and be able to continue his race. Because Mercury should have a clean move to get past U60, as he is in AI. He actually has joined back now. So hopefully he can retake control of his car, as Blue Mercury now is actually inside of U60. Pause. As they're going to make the run down to Cops. U60 probably now going to retake control of the car. So we're going to get to see a little fight here between the Kick Sauber and the McLaren, maybe, if U60 joins back in time. We'll see, though. And for the time being, we are going to jump up to P1. And let's see what's happening up here. Is DJ about to get lapped already, unfortunately for him, as Young now still staying close to Alex, but again, ever pulling the gap away from Mark as Hiex is actually going to make a move past Risers as Risers going to run deep, and Hiex now side by side into the chicane. Risers going to try and break late, but unable to make the move stick as now could lose the position. 2 Risers behind, Serenity behind, but he has a little snap out of the final corner. Those soft tires are struggling here. Now jumping back to Mark, who has Toasty hot on his tail as they had their way into the DRS zone. Could this be the moment where Toasty gets the move done in the slipstream with the DRS? Going to fake a move, but not going to go for anything, as it would have been a little bit late there. As Risers picks up a 3-second time penalty, hopping back on board with U60, who's going to go side by side with Hiex. Of course, he has now rejoined and now able to fight the cars around him, and he should do well with chopping his way through the field. Unfortunate for him. Now watching Alex, as Alex still leads the race, of course, and let's see, anyone else close on track? Dex and Golden Sniper actually are close on track as well, as Golden, they're still close together through Maggots and Beckett's. Golden going to run a little bit deep through the final part of Maggots and Beckett's. No DRS for Golden, going to have to recharge now. Probably still on -3 DRS, yeah, or ERS like always. Dex going to look for a move, but unable to shake Golden as Golden holds his line and does well to defend that position. So they're going to make their way now down into the chicane as Golden's falling off the back of Toasty slowly but surely. Now is the window where the hard tire of Mark might do a little bit better. Dex actually now up 8 positions off the start. Mercury up 7. So great job by him to cut through the field. As look at the tire compounds. Yeah, so the hard tire runners now going to be the happier bunch, as they're going to have the fresher tires. But now Toasty going to have a second chance at that move on Mark, but unable to get anything done. Of course, Mark now on the fresher tire compared to Toasty, as Toasty's probably going to pick up a track limit there. So he cuts the corner in through the beginning of the middle sector. Golden now actually gaining on the pair. So maybe Golden will be able to join this fight eventually, as Dex still trails him. Sorry guys, one moment. Looking at the gap, the leader, Flyer DJ now actually almost lapped, but we're going to hop on board with Alex, because I think these two are closer than they've ever been. As Young now, with the DRS, with the ERS, looking to try and possibly make a move, but unable to get anything done into that one of the last corners on the circuit. Watching Toasty now see what he can do, as these two still continue to fight their way around the circuit. Dex and Golden, a few notable battles here. There's 3 separate battles for the top 6. There's Alex v. Young, Mark v. Toasty, and Golden versus Dex. So a lot of those cars up in the top fight, and they're still going at it here. Of course, the largest gap that has formed is Alex versus Young up in the front. Popping back to the field, there is a massive change of position back here, as I believe someone dives in the pits. Frenny going to dive into the pits. I'm not really sure why. Frenny actually on medium tires. He's going to give them up now, but Hiex or MJW and U60 going side by side to the first sector. MJ going to run a little bit deep, as U60 still very close behind now. They're still nose to tail, and U60 has the DRS now. Probably just going to be able to make a slam dunk move past MJ, chop off that line, and hold his position now. U60 recovering up to P8. And let's scan through the field, going down to 13th. Serenity close to Risers here in the back. Not really the back of the pack, but in the midfield pack here, as Serenity on these dying soft tires. If he can extend as long as the mediums, then he will be in a very good position for the rest of this race. Of course, able to gain a lot of positions on the start. 2 positions on the start, actually. Our 2 biggest gainers here are Mercury and almost Dex, as Dex actually is now, as I think Toasty makes a little mistake, actually. Toasty heading into the pits now. Make sure he doesn't speed into the pit lane. I'm not really sure what happened to Toasty to lose a few positions to Golden. But Golden now up into his favorite position, P4. Of course, known for getting his first podium was last week. Congratulations, or last week. Congratulations to him. But Dex making a generational charge through the field, starting in P14, now up into P5. So great job from him. We know Dex is a great driver, of course, from Winston. Should be able to make a slam dunk move here against Golden, but no, not going to get it done. As we move further to the back, we'll see what Toasty can do on the fresh medium tire. He's going to have to box again for a second set of a set of hard. So he is on the two-stop strategy here in this race, as he is going to have Slayus close behind the Canadian driver in 15th. Not going to be able to shake anything as he's on the old soft tire. Change of position up ahead as Dr. B makes his way past JJ, who I think made a little mistake, but now Toasty has already caught JJ. So hopefully now Toasty can do well to get past these drivers ahead. Only penalties in this race are Dr. B with a 10-second, JJ with a 3-second, and Risers with a 3-second. Unfortunate for them. So they will have time added on to at the end of the race, as Toasty now stuck behind a slow JJ through Maggots and Beckett's. Actually, speak of the devil, Boatington picking up a 3-second time penalty, and now Toasty gonna try and go for a move against JJ, but I don't think he's going to get anything done here. And I have a little look down the inside, but Toasty taking too much of that inside apex curb and just unable to get anything done against JJ here. So they head their way through the final sector now and make their way down the main straight. I don't know what happened there, but JJ losing the car going wide, and Toasty, through goes Toasty through the final corner. Very dissimilar to what happened with Hamilton and Checo a few years ago, but can still say it still happened. So now we're right on board with our host of the lobby and owner of, well, I don't really know if he's the owner, but the person who runs, or partially runs Winston, MJW. So he makes his way through the middle sector. And Toasty now in 13th, after he came out in 14th after the pit stop. Of course, Silverstone famous for its very, very long pit lane. And now we have Golden, right on board with Golden here, who's in P5. He's still hanging on to the coattails. And actually, it seems DJ has spun around on the track in the final sector. Now he's going to get lapped by the crew that is in the lead of this race. Golden's going to run really wide, probably picking up a track limit penalty there, as now we see DJ begin to be lapped by the front runners here. Unfortunate race for him. Of course, he had a hard time in Abu Dhabi as well, now having another hard time here in Silverstone, as Golden's going to make his way through the first sector now. And is he going to be able to get past Dex here? These guys are on the exact same tire compound, but Dex having an amazing race here for the Red Bull outfit, being able to charge the field from 14th after a poor qualifying session. And Toasty now actually getting past Dr. B here through the first sector. Now also behind Risers, going to get two moves in two corners as he gets Dr. B and Risers, and I think he also gets the DRS on the pair of them. So amazing job from Toasty. I'm very happy I caught that before that action ended up finishing. But Toasty charging back to the field now up to P11 from P14 after his pit stop. And now, if I look at the gap to the leader, which I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. That's lap, this is gaps. So gap to the leader. So Toasty actually almost within range to probably be about 2 seconds behind Alex after he pits, and is actually in range to probably get Mark after, I believe. I'm not really sure how long exactly the pit lane is, but now Toasty going to try and go for another move here on Blue Mercury. Blue Mercury not going to want to give this up after his amazing start to this race, but lets Toasty through. He knows he's on the fresher tires, as Toasty on a absolute steamer here in Tier 3. As people heading into the pit lane, I believe that is Mercury, only Mercury actually, but there's a few other people in the pit lane as well. I'm not sure exactly who, as I'm going to try and ride on board with someone else as Young and Alex still fight up at the front here. The gaps are increasing between people as the pit stops cycle through. Gonna hop down onto Boatington, as Boatington is very close behind Golden. Golden fresh out of the pits as well, actually coming out slightly behind his teammate. But ahead of him is a lapped Flyer DJ, who Golden, lucky enough, actually will get the DRS because of that. So will Boatington as well, though, unfortunately. So we're going to hop back up with Young, who's still very close to the back of Alex at the front. I wonder, is this when they're going to call the pit stop? Young is going to be the first in the front to call the pit stop. Will he be able to get the car slowed down enough? Though, going to have a little spin and actually end up tapping the braking board marker in the pit lane, unfortunately. Riser going to pick up a 3-second time penalty as we're going to hop back on board with him. If I can press the right button as he makes his way through Maggots and Beckett's now. Weather looking a little bit duller out there. It's getting a little grayer out there. I don't know if it actually calls for rain. But we now look at a yellow flag in the back, as I believe is JJ going slowly in the back of the field. I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure if he actually has pit yet. There's still a yellow flag in Sector 3, as I believe that is Risers. Who dives into the pits. I don't know what happened. Actually getting a puncture on the tire, getting a 10-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. I could have definitely seen that one coming. As now, it seems like everyone's going to cycle through the pits here as Mark now close up to the back. And actually Toasty coming unable to get past Young, who was so far in the lead. But if Mark pits, Toasty will definitely be there to capitalize on that. Mark probably going for the one stop here in this race. He probably has another 6 laps to go on that hard tire. He's going to be struggling out there as U60 still out 11 laps on that medium tire. Possibly waiting for a safety car here, but there's a lot of cars kind of scattered everywhere. I'm going to hop back onto the Williams of Freeney as he's in this little pack in the back here. Well, actually including the lapped car of Flyer DJ. And we now have Boatington 8 seconds ahead of him is Boatington, and just behind him is the recovering Aston Martin of El Queso. They're going to make their way through. Maggots and Beckett's beautiful camera angle here as they make their way through now and head onto the straight. I'm not sure if Queso will have DRS. He actually will, and so will Freeney actually have DRS because of the lapped car ahead. Mark still leads, and it seems that Alex just now comes out of the pits and actually comes out behind U60. So U60 recovering, or having to recover early on, now is able to come out and be ahead of Alex. Now these guys are going to go side by side down the back straight, and U60 not going to want to cede position to Alex, but U60 going to try the switchback, but these old medium tires are going to be really hard for him. 12 laps as opposed to 0 laps. Fresh, hard rubber for the McLaren driver as Toasty now has a 6-second gap to Dex behind. I believe Dex actually going for the one stop here in this race alongside Mark, probably doing the opposite strategy, of course, as Mark now going to have to figure something out at the front, as if he pits now, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to his lead, as Toasty, Young, and Mark are going to and Alex are going to capitalize heavily off this, and actually even U60 will, but U60 of course still has to pit here in this race. So, now we are going to remove this detail, look at the penalties here, as we're going to try and find someone else to watch. There's actually Boatington actually very close to the back of Golden Sniper here. There's 3 cars here, Dex, Golden, and Boatington here down the back straight. Young going to set the fast lap of the Grand Prix in P2 now with a 1:33, as Golden now just trying to hang on to the coattails of Dex, but unable to do so, as Dex able to sort of run away, but Dex maybe making a little mistake through the final chicane, as Golden now getting ever closer to that Red Bull driver. U60 going to dive into the pit lane for some fresh rubber. We'll see where he comes out. Of course, going to lose probably a lot of time, a lot of positions here, as I believe he may actually be caught up in the battle here with Freeney. Freeney going to get past in Queso, now very close behind the Sauber driver. There's going to be a little fight here as Slayus picks up a 3-second penalty now. Actually, his second 3-second penalty of the race. Poor thing for the Canadian driver, as now Toasty still in that sort of no man's land, 10 seconds behind Alex, and Dex 5 seconds behind him. Golden now, actually very close to the back of Dex, closer than he's been before. Boatington also there as well, but sadly with a 3-second penalty, meaning Golden will just have to stay 3 seconds behind him if he does get overtaken by Boatington. But now we're going to see this now, as Golden will have the DRS. Maybe he can even slow up Dex, who will be closing in on his teammate Toasty Oven Bread in the P4 position. Of course, Toasty will have to pit again onto probably the hard tire, unfortunately for him, as he decided to go early and pit onto a second set of medium tires, as I don't know who. I think Alex actually just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as Alex actually has closed up to Young. Young actually being able to undercut Alex here in this race. But as it stands, Toasty actually, if he does have to pit again, if there's no safety car, he is sitting in a net P14 position, I believe, for Toasty, and he's going to have to try and make his way back through the field if he does have to pit again, of course, unless there is a safety car in this race. Alex having a little snap there out of the exit of the entrance of the second sector. Are they going to try and go for a move through cops? No, they aren't going to try and move through cops, as now these two have been very close the entire race, but now Alex is on the overtaking end of the battle here, as Alex still sticking very closely to the back of Young, as they now make their way into the final sector of the racetrack. Alex possibly going to have a look here. No, he's not, but Young leaves the door open for Alex, but Alex unable to get anything done, as these two are still closing up on Mark, but now Mark entering the pit lane, as Young and Alex will retake the lead of this Grand Prix. Now, will Toasty be able to get past Mark as well? We'll see now, as Toasty heads to the final chicane, but will he be able to get past Mark, as Mark is leaving the pit lane? Let's see. We're going to watch this and see, did Mark's bold strategy just for starting on the hards pay off, or is he going to be stuck behind Toasty? It seems like these two are going to come out almost even, as Toasty will take the lead ahead of Mark, but now Mark on these fresh, brand new mediums. He's going to be quick for the rest of the race, but he is going to have 10 laps on them, and it's going to struggle for the end of them, so we'll see what he can do in this Grand Prix, as Alex now, again, we're still here, close on the back of Young, as Golden still also very close to the back of Toasty. So the yellow flag, as I believe that is Flyer DJ going slow down the main, down the Hamilton Straight, as it is now known as. We're now going to hop on board with Golden, who's still very close to the back of Dex. Dex actually closing up slowly but surely onto the back of Toasty and Mark, as Mark comes out of the pits now. Golden running on the grass a little bit there, but going to run a little bit wide through Cop's corner. Hopefully he can hold on to DRS here, as Boatington still very close and ever gaining, getting closer and closer to Golden Sniper here through Maggots and Beckett's. Golden now going to pick up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunate for him. So now the race with Boatington is for track position now, so whoever stays ahead will finish ahead. No one near them to threaten the position for either of them, so they will be having a decent time out there just racing around. Toasty and Mark now, as Toasty heads into the pits, probably for a set of what I would believe would be hard tires for the end of this race. Toasty will probably end up coming out around P9 here. Unfortunate for him. Kind of getting a very strange strategy in this race. I'm not really sure what he was planning on doing in this race, but all's well that ends well, as he's going to make his way out of the pits. Hopefully we'll be able to hold on to his position from Heix, as at the moment it looks like no. Toasty actually going to drop down to P11 behind Serenity. Unfortunate for him. I'm not really sure if the 2-stop was worth it in this race. But now watching Alex, is I believe he actually takes the lead of this Grand Prix from Young, having undercut. Let's see, having done a 1-lap undercut on Young, as Mark now unable to close the gap ahead, but Dex getting closer to his teammate, and actually Golden Sniper there as well in P5. Toasty now going to have some work to do to clear through the field and actually get back into the points, as he's 2 seconds off of points right now as it stands. Of course, everyone ahead on that older rubber. And Queso now down. We'll hop on board with him as he's going to possibly battle his teammate here. We'll see. We'll stay on board, but these two, as the two Aston Martins possibly duke it out here in, of course, at their home in Silverstone. And actually looking up, Dex has now caught up to Mark. So Mark seemingly struggling on the medium tire, as Dex seems to be thriving on it. And Dex could be on for a podium from 14th here in this Grand Prix. But now Golden still sticking very closely to Dex, of course, actually getting closer and closer and actually pulling slightly away from Bodington, as Frenny, I believe, Frenny goes into the pits. Toasty still now actually on the back of Serenity, as of course on that fresh rubber, as Serenity now on the older medium tire. Toasty gonna have a lot of work to do here. He has 8 laps to charge the field. We'll see what he can do. We'll keep checking in on him as Frenny goes on the soft tire. Not really sure why he's doing that. But Alex ever extending his lead up in the front, as Young now closing slowly but surely. They're going to try and go side by side. Young going to stick a little nose and have a little look into turn 3. We are on tires, Souls. I don't know when you sent that, but we are on tires now. As Alex is going to be able to hold the lead in this Grand Prix. We're now going to hop back to Mark and Dex, as these two are still very close. And actually Golden going to run almost a little bit wide through that corner, as Bodington is slowly falling off the back of these three here, as Golden actually gets a pretty good run through the chicane, but possibly could capitalize here, as Dex makes a little mistake in the final corner now. Golden actually getting a little run up into turn 1 down the Hamilton straight, but unable to do anything with it. Dex really struggling on these tires now. He seemed to be quick before, but now in the dirty air of Mark, Golden just able to be a little bit quicker than him on the actually older hard tire, as they now make their way into the first DRS zone of the circuit. Gonna do a little toasty check-in, like I've been doing every once in a while. I will be doing every once in a while now. Into P9. Unfortunately, it seems like his strategy has not worked out very well from him. He is gaining rapidly on Heix, but Heix will fight that position and they will lose time. So and then he has another 9-second gap to close up to U60. So unfortunate for Toasty, as we check on board with Alex and Young again at the front of the field. These two giants still duking it out on the racetrack. 20 seconds to the car behind. These two just have themselves to fight, as Bodington actually now gets an amazing run on Golden Sniper, but unable to do anything with it, as Golden actually seems to be fallen out of DRS from the driver ahead, who is Dex. Hopefully Golden can do something here to possibly stay within DRS. 7 picking up another time penalty. That gives him 3 seconds. There's a yellow flag actually, as I believe that is also 7 trying to recover to the racing surface, as I see now that there's a little train forming here of 4 cars, Blue Mercury all the way down to Dr. B, and now actually even including Flyer DJ and the back, of course, lapped car, and 2 cars getting past. Blue Mercury going to leave the door open but close it quite aptly on Dr. B as they make their way to the final corner. Now Young, unfortunately, now picking up a 3-second time penalty, meaning he, unless Alex gets a 3-second time penalty as well, he'll be unable to do anything against the race win here. Sadly for these two, they've been fighting on track the whole time. Mark still holding on to that P3 position, but Toasty now finally getting up to the back of Heix. He's going to have DRS this lap, and he's going to have 6 laps to gain on U60. So we'll see what he can do in this race, as show the tires here. 5-lap tire advantage. We'll see what he can do to catch Heix here. I'm wondering now, as Toasty is within the DRS range. Let's see, can he make the pass immediately, or will he have to wait another lap? As it seems HEX is driving quite slowly, and Toasty now already right up to the back of him. The tire advantage is insane around Silverstone. Toasty going to be able to make his way straight past HEX, losing no time on the straight. Is actually HEX going to stick close behind and stay where he was in and actually lose a position and gain a position respectively, as Toasty now has a monstrous task on his hand, and that is to close the 10-second gap to U60 in front of him. Three lap tire advantage, as actually U60 is going to pit, so he's going to have his job done for him. So U60 goes onto the soft tire, possibly trying to go for fastest lap. He's going to have the gap to be fine, so possibly going for fastest lap here, as Toasty now takes P7 on the racetrack. Still this little train behind of Frenny all the way back to Mercury here. This 4-car fight. Actually, Mercury sadly losing the back of this pack. But now, to the same corner again, Alex still leads this race with Young behind. And Young still tailing Alex. Of course, Alex was on the undercut strategy, so on the fresher tire. Dex and Mark now, teammates, are now fighting it out on track. Hopefully nothing happens between them. Actually, Bodington did not realize he picks up another 3-second time penalty, so now on 6 seconds of penalty. So now Toasty only has to clear 10 seconds and he can take P6 from Bodington here. I'm not sure what the tire difference is here. It's a massive tire difference, so 7 laps between Toasty and Bodington, so hopefully Toasty will be able to do something. Of course, Bodington with the time penalty, but also has the DRS on Golden Sniper, so Toasty's teammate could be his downfall in this race. I'm not the meat one second. So I actually come back just in time as we see Golden attempt to make a move on Mark ahead of him, but unable to get anything done there. And now Golden going to run a little bit wide. It could give Bodington the chance to get past the Alpine driver as they make their way through Maggots and Beckett's now. Golden still able to stick to the back of Mark. Mercury picking up a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunate for him. Will now mean he has to stay behind Dr. B in a position which he would have inherited rather than earned on track. Bodington picking up another time penalty. Now Toasty only having to close another 5 seconds, and he's already closed 2 or 1 and a bit in the in this lap. So hopefully Toasty will be able to do something here. If he closes 12 more, he actually gets his teammate Golden Sniper. But we'll keep an eye on that gap as Young actually loses Alex in the front. Let's see who else is close, as it looks the only people who are close are actually Bodington through to Dex. So of course these guys are just riding a DRS train. I don't know if there's going to be many overtakes as everyone's just kind of recharging their battery and sitting behind each other. U60 sets the fast lap at the Grand Prix for the Sauber outfit in P9, picking up an extra point for him. 11 seconds behind HEX. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch him before the end of the Grand Prix. 4 laps to go here in this one, as these 4 continue to squabble it out. Actually, looking back, no, there's not many people close on circuit, except for the lapped car of, I believe that is the lapped car of Flyer, who is spinning. Actually, great timing to cut to him. But we're going to hop on board with Dex, who leads this train and has been rapidly losing time to the top 2. Of course, does not matter. At where it stands, he gets a podium. Actually, Mark did not realize Mark picking up a 3-second time penalty as well. So Golden, if he is able to get past Mark here in this race, of course, Mark on the medium tire if Golden is able to get past Mark, he could be on for a solid P4 finish here in this race. As there's a slow Haas on the main straight. That is 7. Unfortunate for him. But we're now going to hop on board with Boatington and see, as this fight continues here for P3, Golden now actually burning some ERS, trying to get to the back of Mark here, trying to claim this P4 position that he so badly wants. Going to get a really good run, a little bit of contact now between the two through the middle sector. Just unfortunately, Golden had too much speed into that corner and just gave him a little love tap. Now they're going to head into Cops. Golden with the overspeed, and Golden going to run a little bit deep as now Boatington is there to capitalize on the position. Now Golden going to be forced to fight Boatington. Going to try and go side by side through Maggins and Beckett, but no, unable to make the move stick. But of course, Golden will get that position for free due to the time penalties. But an unfortunate mistake for Golden could have cost him the his possibility of a P4. So there's a yellow flag ahead. I'm not sure why, as it's actually, I believe that's JJ slowing down to let the cars through the as he has lapped traffic. Golden making a few mistakes now, as Boatington losing a lot, possibly could lose the train ahead. Hopefully not. So there's another yellow flag, as I believe that is again Flyer DJ driving slowly on the circuit. Unfortunate for him, he's been having a very tough race, but the battle still continues here. 1 track limit for Dex, and actually Boatington now showing his pace and actually going to try and make a move against Mark here. Going to try and send around the outside a little bit, almost contact for between him. A little bit dangerous driving from Dex there, really slowing up on the outside. Is actually Dex losing 3 positions on one straight, as Golden actually is going to be able to get past him as well. Golden going to run a little bit wide though, and actually Dex now kind of the victim of his own success. Without the DRS, he was unable to do much to defend, as Golden's going to run very wide through Cops, and now actually they're going to go side by side, entering Maggins and Beckett's, and slam dunk position for Dex there. Golden's not going to fight that, as Toasty now slowly but surely, as Golden actually going to get the move done through Maggins and Beckett's. An amazing move from Golden there, as now Dex is going to come to fight back, as actually we see in the background, that's a Williams, that's the lapped Williams of JJ, as Golden now still fighting this position. If they keep this up, oh, this is the last lap. I did not realize this was the last lap. I'm sorry guys, I didn't know that. But now Golden going to come along. Actually, this isn't the end of the race, is it? Is this the end of the race? No. Alex, sorry, we're going to cut back to the front of the field as Alex and them are on their first lap, but I want to cut back to this battle here, as we see Toasty have the possibility of achieving a P6 in this race because of course, the 9-second time penalty from Boatington. But Golden, unfortunately for him, unable to do much now against the drivers in front, kind of on the coattails. But now Alex comes home and is actually pretty. You can see the gap. It opened up 3 seconds between the two decks. Actually going to be able to get past Boatington and get it done on track, because there's actually a yellow flag. I think that's Flyer DJ. But Alex going to come home and take the win in Tier 3 at Silverstone. He's going to be happy to win this one, winning in Tier 2 last season and now winning in Tier 3 this season. We have Young coming home in P2 now. Mark and the Mark kind of in no man's land, but he's going to come home in P4, unfortunately, due to the his 3-second time penalty and Dex sticking very close behind. But of course, the fight's not over yet. It's not over yet until the until you pass the finish line. So we'll see what happens here. As here we go. As Boatington, as Mark's going to come across the line, and Deck's going to take his P4, Golden's going to take his P5. But now the question is, does Toasty get the P6? And he does. So good job for Toasty getting P6. Heeks now. Again, a big gap between these two. Actually, U60, I said earlier, wouldn't be able to close the gap, but got that 11-second gap down to about 1.5. Great job from him. Prix now, the last of the point scorers here, with a 3-second time penalty, as it seems like Serenity, sorry, missing that. These guys are fighting to the end of the lap. Blue Mercury and Serenity. I'm very sorry I missed that until now. I saw the delta go super duper low. Serenity going to come home in P13. A decent effort from him. And I believe the last few are Risers, who's actually in AI, and this is the last one to come across the line. But as we see it, we have Alex is the winner of the race with Young in second, Dex in P3, Mark P4, Golden and Toasty, I believe finishing where they began in P5 and P6, Boatington in P7, Hex in P8, U60 P9, Frenny P10, Doctor P11, Queso P12, Serenity P13, Mercury P14, Risers comes home in 15th, just crossed the line now, and hitting the wall out of frustration at the end of the lap.
Bro, this is... Alright, things happen.
So that was a great race. Thank you guys all for joining me here in Intrepid Racing League Tier 3. We're now going to get to see these lovely podium celebrations. Alex comes home to win his first race of the season. Young coming home in P2, and I believe Dex making the charge up from P14. In my opinion, if anyone has to be driver of the day here, slam dunk, it's Dex. Recovering from P14 up into P3 onto a podium position. Lovely effort from him. Absolute astonishing drive, and congrats to him and the Red Bull outfit. And we can now look through the finishing order as U60 gets fastest lap.
What did you get?
And
You still got
we're
1
gonna
point. You
scroll
still got
through
1 point.
now.
I got nothing, bro.
And I'm gonna
I got
quickly.
19.
I wish I could mute JJ, but we're gonna quickly speed run through the race director in case
you're
anyone
in the
needs
thing.
it. So we're looking through it here, and yeah, so that'll be it for this race. Of course, Dex, just amazing drive from him. But thank you all for watching, and I will probably see you next week. Have a great evening, and yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed.